Hi guys, welcome to Basement Supercar Build, the channel where we see if an average guy like me can design and build his own mid-engine car. This video will be a highlights video of the work that was finished this week. If you want to see the actual work take place, watch the full-length video for this week. And with that out of the way, let's get started on this week's video.
So I cut a notch in the steering column just above the knuckle where the pivot is for the tilt wheel, and that allowed me to lower the screen down about a half of an inch lower. And this is a screen that I worked on all weekend. I've got about 18 hours in this screen so far, laying it out and putting the gauges in it, and I'm far from done, but I'm getting closer. I'm liking the direction this is going. I've just got to add some other details and move some things around on there that's not in the correct place, but they're close. I'm just placing logos or little icons on there, and I'll move them around to where I want them later. And some of these that are lit up now will only be lit up at certain times, or warning lights and turn signals, high beam headlights, and different things that won't always show up. So just wanted you to take a look at this, and I think I'm gonna wrap for tonight, and we'll work on something else again tomorrow. I have a couple of quick updates. The clutch came in today, so I was expecting it to come with a flywheel or flex plate, and it didn't, so I guess that's something else I'm going to have to purchase. But this is the clutch, the alignment tool, and the support bearing. Let's see if I can turn this over. It is really heavy. But this is what the clutch looks like. It is a custom spec clutch, and it is made to support I forgot what it was limited at, like 7, no, it's more than 7, 8 or 900 horsepower. So it is a very expensive clutch. I forgot the exact price of it. I think it was in the $3,000 or $4,000 range. And also I have a mount made for the instrument cluster, and I've just got some crappy hardware holding it on with some spacers. I don't have the right size hardware, and I originally was going to mount it solid to here, but when you move the steering wheel in and out, it was starting to block the view on the panel quite a bit. So I mounted it to the telescoping part of the steering column just behind this knuckle here that raises up and down and moves. And by doing that, the instrument cluster moves in and out with the steering wheel with a telescoping feature. And I had a Infiniti G37 a couple of years ago that did this, that moved, the instrument cluster moved with the steering wheel in and out, and I kind of like that, so that's what gave me the idea for this. But you may notice I've been working on the instrument panel. It's quite a bit different than what you originally saw. I'm still not finished with it, but I'm getting closer. I like the colors and I like the layout, but I'm still tweaking a lot of little things that I'm just not crazy about. And that gives me, I don't know, a good field of view. I'm seeing about 3/4 of the instrument cluster now, which I like. I did that by removing part of the steering knuckle and lowering it down closer to the steering column. And I like this a lot. I'm not going to say it's finished yet, but I want to look at it a little bit closer and move the steering column in and out and the steering wheel up and down, and before I make a final decision. But hopefully this is going to work. It looks like it will, and we'll see. But for now, it's finished. Anyway, just wanted to show you these things, and I am going to get back to work on something else. Well, I've taken everything as far as I can go. I am waiting on parts, I guess. I have sent the these elbows and fittings off back to the turbo place, the headers manufacturing place, for them to weld the pieces on to the elbow for the wastegates. And I'm waiting on that to come back in. That's probably going to be several days. I have mounted this fuel pressure regulator and started plumbing it with the ends that I have, and I'm waiting on some more ends to come in. And the fuel filter came in, but I'm still waiting on the mount for it, so I'm not able to finish the fuel system just yet, but more parts should be coming in a few days. I'm also waiting on parts to plumb between the turbo and the intake manifold for the fresh air out of the turbos. There'll be some parts coming in the next few days for that. And I have, in the meantime, been working on the instrument panel. I've made a mount here. It's pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with that. And been working on the layout for the panel itself. And this is what it's looking like. I have the GPS powered up. You can see the GPS is providing the direction over on the globe to the right, and the speed, the miles per hour where it says 0. Both of those come from the GPS antenna. And this is about what I'm looking at right here. This is my field of view, so I'm happy with that. I can see the entire instrument cluster all the way up to the top of the bezel and the turn signals, and that's about, I don't know, that's probably 80% of the panel, which is good. I like the shape, I like the layout. I still may add something over here in this corner, but I don't know what yet. Don't have room for much, but there is a tiny bit of room for something. I'm still trying to figure out if I can add an outside air temperature sensor to this and use it or not. That is one thing I'd like to have on here and don't have, but have to work on that in the future, I guess. And while we're waiting on all these things to come in, I guess I'm at a standstill, and that's probably going to be about a wrap for this week. And I'll see you guys again next week, where hopefully some of these parts will start coming in and we can start wrapping up this fueling system and start working on these cold air intakes on the turbos. But I'll see you guys again in 1 week.